was telling my cousin about this series I'm doing on my favourite places, and I was telling her I'd just done my workshop, and she said, "But what do you do in your workshop? What are some of the projects that you've got going on now?" So I thought I'd introduce you to some of the projects, because it's the second question that I was asking myself when I did my favourite places. The first question was, why do you like it? And the second question was, what do you do there? I've got lots of books full of ideas, things that I want to do. I like sewing, I like fabric, I like textiles. I've got buttons, I've got screws, I've got lots of books for writing, I've got paints. So what kind of projects am I doing? Come and I'll introduce you to a few of them. Probably more than I'll ever complete in my lifetime, I don't know. But come and have a look. I love recycled materials, recycled clothes, recycled curtains, and one of the projects I'm doing is I'm using old woolen blankets. They're the old kind with the stripes along the top, and I'm making them into some curtains because I have some parts of my house I would like to divide off, and they would be easy to heat, or you could just close it off if other people were in the house and you were doing something in your workroom that you wanted quiet for. So what I've got are these old blankets. I've put the tape, the curtain tape along the top. These ones, I really want to make sure they wouldn't get dirtied either side where you use and pull them, so I've put some material down it, the whole side, and almost like it's become, this side's finished, it's almost become like it's quilted in a way. And the whole thing I've done hand stitch. I've got big stitches and I've got tiny little stitches, and even on some parts I've got very large stitches in wool that I've done. So this is just one of the projects I'm doing, and I have all these that I've got to put together. Some of them have got small holes in, so I've got little doilies. These kind of things will be fitted on them. Little lacy pieces will cover the holes or decorate. Some parts where I've sewn a bit roughly, I'm going to just put some of this kind of lace, a strip just down it. And so that's one of my projects in my favourite place of my workroom. This is my steampunk earring project. I love steampunk. I love the clothes, I love the hats, and I love the jewellery. So I got some bits and pieces. This is actually came from a watchmaker. He just gave me a whole lot of old watches that he'd broken up. And I've got lots of other bits and pieces. But someone gave me this really nice little robot. And I like the idea of the screws and the nuts and the bolts holding it together. So I have a lot of nuts and bolts here. And then the place that actually sold these sold me 2 pieces of wood. And I'm going to make a pair of earrings. So I've got them all ready to go. So I've had a rummage through my stuff, and I've found all these bits and pieces. I've found bits, these are little domes from a dress, and I've found some little beads, and I've found some screws. And then I got a whole lot of tiny nails, which I'll use for the legs, and I'll put through it. And I want to make this pair of earrings. This might take me a wee bit of time because I can't find one little bit. I've got another whole box of screws and bolts and little bits of wire that I found on the ground. I'm always picking stuff up when I travel. So this is my little sort of steampunk project. Steampunk robot earrings. Another one of my projects is a series of crosses that I've done using an outline of a cross like this on velvet, and then filling it in with all different kinds of things. Now when I first started, I did one with beads like this. It's still not yet finished. It was like this, but I did it on a nylon silk. When I looked at it, the gleam of the glass beads did not match the feeling of the silk. It wasn't very nice. And then I touched silk velvet, absolutely beautiful. And I asked my tailor if he would get me some, and he edged it all for me. It is the most wonderful feeling. And when I put my work on it, it looks so much better. Another one I've also started is to fill it in with pearls. I had some old pearl necklaces and some pearl bracelets, and I had some pearl earrings. Then I had some buttons from a jersey, and I had some little squares from a bag I had. And first of all, I sew on all the necklaces and the long pieces of beadwork, and then in the middle of it I have these other ones, these individual beads that I put and fill in all the gaps. So these ones still have to go on somewhere. I don't know where they'll go on, but they will. I really like this look. From every angle it looks different. Another one I want to do, which I haven't started yet, is I want to do ones with buttons. I've got all different kinds of buttons. These are only just a small sample of the buttons. I've got lots more. I've got pearl ones and I've got red ones, and I want to get some of the tiny little ones and put them all together, or first of all just sew on some big ones and then fill all the gaps in with the little buttons. Another cross that I would like to do, and that I haven't yet started either, is full of these kind of things like nuts and bolts and springs. And again, I want to make a cross out of all these things by putting maybe one on top of another, so you can get them, and I think it'll look quite amazing on the black. So this is another one of my projects. I don't know if I'll ever finish all of them, but I really like spending some time playing with the beads, playing with the buttons, and thinking about how I'm going to put it on these crosses. Another project that I do in one of my favourite places, my workroom.